For years, the relationship between American agriculture and China has been a significant one, shaping markets and influencing livelihoods across the United States. China has been a massive customer for American farmers, a key player in the global agricultural landscape. They buy huge amounts of what U.S. farms grow, fueling a robust export market and supporting countless farming operations. This demand has been a cornerstone of American agricultural success for decades, especially crops like soybeans, which have become a staple in the trade relationship, and corn, another vital commodity that flows from American fields to Chinese markets. This trade created a strong link between the two countries, a bond forged through the exchange of essential goods. Built on food and commerce, it's a relationship that has shaped economies and influenced global trade patterns. The agricultural trade between the two nations has fostered interdependence. With over 1 billion people, China's population represents a significant portion of the global demand for food. China's demand for food is enormous, requiring a constant and reliable supply to feed its vast population. American farms are highly productive, utilizing advanced technology and efficient practices to maximize yields. Growing more than the U.S. needs, American agriculture has the capacity to meet the demands of a global market. This abundance allows for exports that benefit both the U.S. and its trading partners. Selling the surplus to China made perfect sense, creating a mutually beneficial economic exchange. A win-win for both sides, fostering economic growth and stability in both nations. This trade brings real money into rural America, injecting vital capital into communities that rely on agriculture, supporting farmers and local businesses, creating a ripple effect of economic prosperity throughout rural areas. Tractor dealers, seed suppliers, and other agricultural businesses thrive on the success of local farms, and small-town shops all benefit, experiencing increased revenue and contributing to the overall vitality of rural communities. Many jobs in farming communities depend on this agricultural trade, providing livelihoods for countless families. It's a cornerstone of the rural economy, providing stability and opportunity for residents. So when China changes its buying habits, even slightly, it sends ripples through the agricultural sector. It's a big deal, impacting farmers, businesses, and entire communities across the nation. The impact is felt across U.S. farming, from the smallest family farms to the largest agricultural corporations. Sometimes like a ripple, a minor adjustment in the market. Sometimes like a tsunami, a major disruption that can devastate livelihoods. Farmers watch China's moves closely, analyzing market trends and anticipating potential shifts in demand. Their livelihoods often depend on it, making them keenly aware of the importance of this trade relationship. This relationship is a constant factor, a variable that farmers must always consider when making decisions about planting, harvesting, and selling their crops. In a demanding job, where weather, pests, and market fluctuations are already constant challenges, when China shifts its policies or alters its purchasing patterns, American agriculture feels it, experiencing the direct consequences of those changes. The stakes are high for everyone involved, from the farmers in the fields to the consumers around the world. It's not just about crops, it's about the economic well-being of entire regions. It's about entire communities, their livelihoods, and their future prosperity. The U.S.-China agricultural link is vital, a critical component of the global food system. And its future matters, not just for the current generation of farmers, but for those who will follow. Farmers know this better than anyone, having witnessed the ups and downs of this relationship firsthand. They're always watching, always adapting, constantly adjusting their strategies to navigate the ever-changing landscape of global trade. The world's food supply chain is more connected than ever, with events in one country having the potential to impact markets around the globe, and China is at the heart of it, playing a central role in the global food equation. That's why what happens there matters here, impacting American farmers and shaping the future of agriculture in the United States. For years, China has been a major player in the global agricultural market, heavily reliant on imports to feed its massive population. But recently, China has started to change its approach, signaling a significant shift in its agricultural strategy. They want more control over their food supply, a move driven by concerns over national security and economic stability. This means growing more at home, focusing on boosting domestic agricultural production to meet the country's growing demand, and consequently, importing less from traditional partners. This is a major policy shift, a deliberate and calculated move away from reliance on foreign food sources. It's a strategy firmly focused on food security, ensuring a stable and reliable food supply for its citizens. The goal, to feed their people, providing enough food for the entire population. And to do so without relying too much on other countries, reducing vulnerability to global market fluctuations and geopolitical tensions. It's a huge undertaking, a massive transformation of the agricultural sector, requiring big investments in infrastructure, technology, and research. And new technology, embracing innovation to increase yields and improve efficiency. China is modernizing its farms, adopting cutting-edge techniques and equipment, improving efficiency through automation, precision agriculture, and advanced irrigation systems, and boosting domestic production to record levels, ensuring a plentiful supply of food for its population. At the same time, they're diversifying their imports, reducing reliance on any single source, buying from more countries, establishing new trade relationships around the globe, not just the US, but also South America, Africa, and other regions. This isn't a minor adjustment. It's not just a tweak to existing policies, it's a fundamental change, a complete overhaul of China's approach to food security. The government is backing this new direction with serious resources, pouring billions into agricultural development. The effects are already being felt in global food trade, creating ripples across international markets. US farmers are seeing the impact, feeling the pressure of reduced demand, as China buys less from them, leading to unsold crops and declining revenues. The old ways of doing business are fading fast, replaced by a new and more competitive landscape. Farmers now face a new reality, a world where traditional markets are shrinking, less certainty, with unpredictable demand and fluctuating prices, more competition from other agricultural powerhouses around the world. The global market is shifting, reshaping the dynamics of agricultural trade, and everyone has to adapt, embracing new strategies and technologies to survive. China's new strategy is shaking up the status quo, disrupting established trade patterns. It's forcing American agriculture to rethink its future, to innovate and diversify in order to remain competitive. The days of easy, predictable profits are gone. Predictable sales to China are over, replaced by uncertainty and volatility. Farmers must look for new opportunities, exploring new crops and new farming methods, and new markets, seeking out alternative buyers for their products. The world of agricultural trade is changing, quickly, demanding agility and adaptability. And US farmers are right in the middle of it, facing both challenges and opportunities in this new era. American farmers are watching China's moves and rethinking their own plans. The big question, what crops should they plant next season? China's reduced demand makes the decision much riskier. Soybeans, once a safe bet, are now a gamble. Acres once dedicated to China's appetite may need to shift. Uncertainty is everywhere. Prices, demand, and future sales. Farmers are used to dealing with weather and pests, but this is a new kind of challenge. Market volatility is now the norm. The old playbook doesn't work anymore. Every planting decision carries more risk. Farmers need to be more strategic than ever. They're seeking advice, weighing options, and planning carefully. The stakes are high. One wrong move can hurt for years. China's new policy adds another layer of complexity. For many, it means more sleepless nights and tougher choices. Selling crops used to be a far more predictable endeavor, a landscape where the rules were known, and the outcomes, while never guaranteed, were at least within a reasonable range of expectation. China's role as a steady buyer provided a bedrock of stability, a reliable demand that farmers could count on season after season. Now, the equation has changed. US farmers must look beyond China for new markets, venturing into uncharted territories of global commerce. This shift demands a new level of adaptability and strategic thinking, a willingness to explore unfamiliar landscapes and forge new alliances. Finding new buyers isn't easy. It's a complex puzzle with many moving pieces. It requires a proactive approach, a willingness to knock on doors, and present a compelling case for American agricultural products. It takes time, effort, and relationship building, cultivating trust and understanding with potential partners across the globe. These relationships are the foundation upon which successful trade agreements are built, the human connection that transcends borders and cultures. Each market has its own rules and demands, a unique set of regulations and consumer preferences that must be carefully navigated. Understanding these nuances is crucial for success, ensuring that products meet local standards and resonate with local tastes. Domestic sales can offer a degree of stability, providing a familiar and accessible outlet for agricultural products, or exports to neighbors like Canada and Mexico can help, offering established trade routes and relatively consistent demand. These partnerships provide a valuable buffer against global market volatility, a regional network of trade that can help mitigate risk. But they're not enough to replace China, whose sheer volume of demand created a market force that is difficult to replicate. Competition is fierce, with producers from around the world vying for a share of the global market. This heightened competition puts pressure on prices and margins, demanding efficiency and innovation from American farmers, and these markets may already be saturated, leaving limited room for new entrants and further intensifying the struggle for market share. Expanding sales at home brings its own challenges, requiring a deep understanding of domestic consumer trends and distribution networks. More supply chasing fewer buyers creates an imbalance that can have significant consequences for farmers' bottom lines, can push prices down, eroding profitability and creating financial strain. Lower prices mean tighter margins for farmers, forcing them to make difficult decisions about resource allocation and investment. The financial impact is real. Profit can quickly turn to loss, threatening the viability of family farms in rural communities. Farmers must be creative and persistent to survive, embracing innovation and adapting to changing market conditions. The search for new markets is hard work but necessary, a critical investment in the future of American agriculture. The global agricultural system is interconnected. One change affects everyone, creating a ripple effect that reverberates throughout the entire supply chain. When China steps back, the ripple effect is felt everywhere, impacting farmers, consumers, and economies around the world. Farmers are adapting, but the transition isn't easy, requiring resilience, innovation, and a willingness to embrace change. The pressure is on to find new solutions, to develop new markets and strategies that can ensure the long-term viability of American agriculture. The old stability is gone. Now it's about resilience and reinvention, about finding new ways to thrive in a rapidly changing world. The future depends on how well farmers can pivot, on their ability to adapt, innovate, and forge new paths to success. Soybeans were once the star of U.S. exports to China. Millions of tons shipped every year, an economic powerhouse. China's demand fueled American soybean production. But now, China is growing more soybeans at home and buying from new suppliers like Brazil. The U.S. share of the market is shrinking, prices are more volatile, and the future is uncertain. American farmers feel the impact directly in their wallets. The golden age of soybean exports to China is fading. Farmers must rethink what they plant and where they sell. New uses and new markets are needed. The soybean story is changing fast. Adaptation is the only way forward. It's not just soybeans, corn and pork are feeling the pressure too. China was a major buyer of U.S. corn, using it for feed and industry. Reduced Chinese demand means more corn on the market, pushing prices down. Corn farmers across the Midwest are worried. The pork industry is also affected. U.S. pork filled gaps during China's shortages, but now China is rebuilding its own pork production. Their push for self-sufficiency means less need for U.S. imports. Hog farmers face new uncertainty and shrinking markets. China's policies ripple through every part of U.S. agriculture. Farmers are watching, adapting, and bracing for more change. The squeeze is real, and it's not letting up. American farmers are worried about prices, markets, and the future of their farms. Their way of life feels under threat, but farming has always demanded resilience. Farmers are used to tough times and big challenges. This situation with China feels different global politics. Not just weather or pests, it's frustrating to be affected by decisions made far away. Still, farmers don't give up. They share ideas, seek advice, and support each other. Community is strong in rural America. Innovation and grit are part of the job. The road ahead is tough, but farmers are tougher. They're determined to adapt and survive. So, what can farmers do? They can't change China's policies, but they can adapt. Many are diversifying, trying new crops less dependent on China. Specialty grains, biofuel crops, and niche products are options. Diversification spreads risk and opens new opportunities. Others are building new export markets in Southeast Asia, India, and Latin America. It takes time and effort, but it's essential for stability. Technology is also key. Precision agriculture helps cut costs and boost yields. Staying competitive means working smarter, not just harder. Every improvement matters in a tough market. Farmers are innovating, experimenting, and learning. The goals: survive today, thrive tomorrow. Adaptation is the new normal. What's next for American farming as China's role changes? The future is uncertain, but some trends are clear. Farmers will keep diversifying, what they grow and where they sell. Reducing reliance on any one market, especially China, is smart business. Trade with China will continue, but it will look different. New products, new volumes, more ups and downs. Flexibility and resilience are essential. American farmers are innovators and survivors. They've faced tough times before and found ways to adapt. This is another test of that spirit. The path ahead won't be easy, but farmers will keep planting, hoping, and working for a better future. Change is hard, but it's nothing new for American agriculture. They'll keep moving forward no matter what.